Guys, it's time to start talking about playoffs because the season ends in 3 weeks, okay? We're going to talk about the AFC and NFC. It's going to be a 2-for-1 special here. I don't want to make this a long video. I want to show you guys the playoff brackets for both AFC, NFC, all these conferences, what's going on in the divisions, the standings, the top 7 teams as of now, who has the bye week for week 1 or the number 1 seed, and who is in the running to maybe even sneak into the playoffs at the very, very end. We're going to talk about all that stuff right now. So these are the teams that have been eliminated. Kapui will not be making the playoffs, and this is basically the draft order for the 2023 draft. Obviously, the Houston Texans, they were not going to make the playoffs. 12-1. The Chicago Bears, the Denver Broncos, the Rams, and the Cardinals, they have been officially eliminated. Now, every week, we're going to hear one team either clinch the playoff spot or a couple teams got eliminated from the playoff spot. So those are basically the big things we're going to be going through each and every single week. Now, for the AFC, guys, one of the teams that are still in the playoff chase is the Colts, right? I honestly don't think they might even make the playoffs. They have no chance in the division. The Tennessee Titans, basically, if they win one more game, they lock up that division. And I do believe the Colts will be officially eliminated. But again, we've seen crazier things, right? The Colts right now have a 4-9-1 record, 3rd in the AFC South. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a 6-8 record, 4th in the AFC North. That division, guys, I don't think the Steelers might even be competitive in that division. They may make the playoffs, but they do have to start basically winning a lot more games and just win out, right? If they win out, they'll probably make it. But we'll talk about that more in depth when we talk about the divisions. The Cleveland Browns have a 6-8 record, 3rd in the AFC North, the same division as the Steelers. The Raiders, they have a 6-8 record, 3rd in the AFC West. The Jacksonville Jaguars, 6-8 record, 2nd in the AFC South. Ironically enough, guys, the Jacksonville Jaguars are getting in better position each and every single week. Trevor Lawrence, honestly, guys, let me know what you guys think. He's been shining. He's been playing a lot way better than what he did last year under Nick Saban. Number 9, the New York Jets. So right now they're 7-7, 4th in the AFC East. I do believe they may have a chance there. 8th, the Patriots, 7-7, 3rd in the AFC East. Again, tied up with the Jets. And right here are the playoff contenders, right? Or who is in the playoffs as of now. Who has the number 7 spot? The Miami Dolphins, 8-6 record, 2nd in the AFC East. They've dropped 3 in a row. Right now, this next week coming up, they play the Green Bay Packers. It is a winnable game, but then they play the Patriots and then the Jets to end off the season. So if they win 2 of the last 3, I'm pretty sure they will be in. But again, they have to win 2 out of the 3 or all 3 with a little bit of help. It all really depends on what other teams are doing in the rest of the season, right? Number 6, the Los Angeles Chargers. They actually moved up 2 spots after they beat the Tennessee Titans with 8-6 record, 2nd in the AFC West. Number 5, going down 2 spots, the Baltimore Ravens with a 9-5 record, 2nd in the AFC North. With the absence of Lamar Jackson, it's really been hurting them offensively. But I think they'll make the playoffs, right? Let me know what you guys think. And right here are your division leaders. The Tennessee Titans with a 7-7 record, 1st in the AFC South. Number 3, the Cincinnati Bengals, 10-4 record, actually took the spots from the Ravens there. And then number 2, who've actually already clinched their playoff spots, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Now, this does not mean they're locked in on 1 and 2 as of yet. That just means these 2 teams have clinched their playoff spots, and they basically don't need to worry about missing the playoffs or anything. Now it's all about positioning. So at the very bottom, the Atlanta Falcons, the only reason they are kind of in with a 5-9 record is because the NFC South, they're pretty darn bad, okay? We'll talk about that in the divisions. And again, the Saints, 3rd in the NFC South. Carolina Panthers, 2nd in the NFC South. These 3 teams are in the same division, okay? The one team that still has a negative record is the Tampa Bay Bucks that has the division lead. So all these 3 teams, guys, technically they're going to be in the hunt for that top division spot. I don't think they'll sneak into the 5, 6, or 7 playoff spot, but they'll have to win the division in order to actually get into the playoffs, in my personal opinion. Then number 10, the Green Bay Packers. Like I said, they do play the Dolphins here, so it is a must-win game. They just beat the Rams, so it did help their chances of making the playoffs with a 6-8 record, 3rd in the NFC North. Then you go up, and the Lions have been busting butt with a 7-7 record, 2nd in the NFC North. They have a huge chance to make the playoffs if they continue to stay on track and continue to move that momentum. Number 8, the Seattle Seahawks. So right on the cusp of the bubble with a 7-7 record. Second in the NFC West. There's no more bye weeks, so the Seahawks really have to start picking up the pace. They started off somewhat hot, but they started to slow down. They can't slow down at the very end of the season. You'll miss playoffs, right? And the right here are your playoffs spot contenders. The Washington Commanders have the 7th spot. The New York Giants have the 6th spot. And the Dallas Cowboys, and they've already clinched their spot. But number 4, that's, I guess, technically want to be in the hunt, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 6-8 record, first in the NFC South. This is the division lead, but again, we'll talk about this one when we talk about the divisions. And these are the teams that have already clinched their playoff spots. Dallas Cowboys have already clinched a playoff spot, whether it's 5, 6, or 7. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers, they already clinched a playoff spot. The Minnesota Vikings already clinched, and the Philadelphia Eagles have clinched as well. Again, these rankings may differ depending on how the rest of the 3 weeks go. But now, guys, let's talk about the brackets, the divisions, and what could possibly happen within the next 3 weeks. So as of now, you see the Buffalo Bills have the first week bye because they're the number 1 seed as of now, right? Anything can happen because the Chiefs and the Bills have the same record. It's just the Bills have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs because they beat them early on in the season. So right now, the Buffalo Bills will have the first week bye, and the first round matchups will be the Tennessee Titans versus the Baltimore Ravens, which honestly, guys, will probably be a pretty decent battle if Lamar Jackson does come back into the offense. The second game will probably be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Chargers. High-powered offenses, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Come on, guys, let's go. The third game, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Miami Dolphins. And that one, guys, everybody's counting out the Dolphins there. But if the Dolphins can actually hold Mahomes down just a tad bit, they may have a chance there. And that's the AFC side. On the NFC side, the Philadelphia Eagles right now currently have the number 1 seed and have the first week bye. The first game will probably be the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Dallas Cowboys. The third game will probably be the San Francisco Niners versus the Giants. And that one's, guys, is probably pretty interesting. Probably going to be the most competitive out of all of them. The third game will probably be the Minnesota Vikings versus the Washington Commanders. So as of now, the whole division of the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and the Commanders, all 4 teams are in that division, are technically right now in the playoffs, but anything could happen. Let's talk about divisions. Right now for the NFC West, the 49ers have clinched that division as of now, right? The only team in contention for a playoff spot as of now is the Seattle Seahawks, which honestly, guys, they have to win out and have to hope either the Commanders or the Giants basically lose 1 or 2 games straight. The next division, guys, the NFC South. All these teams are in contention for a playoff spot, right? But not for the last 5, 6, or 7 spot, for the division lead, and even hosting a playoff spot in a playoff game. Bucks are in the division lead with a 1-game lead over the Panthers, Saints, and the Falcons. But any little slip up from the Bucks, and that will happen. Now, everybody's talking about Tom Brady in the playoffs is completely different. But the Bucks in this whole division, they've been very sporadic, okay? Just what the heck is going on there? Who knows? Next, the NFC North. Like I said, the Minnesota Vikings have clinched that division. The only 2 teams competing for a playoff spot are the Lions and the Packers. The Lions, guys, have been thriving. The Packers are going to be playing the Miami Dolphins. So if they do beat the Dolphins, that's going to strengthen their chances of making the division, and hope for the best for either the Commanders or the Giants basically start to lose games, and they just have to be consistent and just keep their foot on the pedal, basically, right? And the next one is the NFC East. Now, all these teams have a chance to basically make the playoffs. Now, the Eagles and the Cowboys have already clinched. The Giants and the Commanders, if they win out, they're in, basically, right? Because they're holding the last 2 final spots for the NFC. So if they win out or win 2 out of the 3, most likely depending on what happens for the rest of the league, they should be in. Right now, their chances seem pretty darn good, right? The Chiefs already clinched their spot. The only team competing for a playoff spot right here are the Chargers, which they have right now. They have the 6th spot, so they just have to hold it. If they hold it, and they should be good, right? As of now, I do think Justin Herbert deserves a playoff spot, and just even compete in the playoffs, I think that should be a pretty good chance. The AFC South, the Titans, Jaguars, Colts, and the Texans. Honestly, just the Titans and the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars right now, they have the momentum, right? The Titans have lost a couple games here and there, very close battles. They have a good defense, just they keep on slipping up. The Jaguars, they're continuing to catch momentum. And once they play each other, that division game is going to really show who wins this division. So whoever wins that division game whoever continues to hold on to the momentum will win this division and secure the spot into the playoffs. The AFC North, the Bengals just got this lead. Now, if they could hold it, which honestly, guys, I think they will because Joe Burrows, come on, guys. Joe Burrows is amazing. I think they'll probably win the division lead. The Baltimore Ravens, right now, Lamar Jackson is out. They have not announced when he's coming back. But as of now, the Ravens are in a good position with a 5 spot in the playoffs. The last division, guys, the AFC East. The Bills have already clinched. Dolphins, Patriots, Jets are all in contentions. You see how close those wins and losses is? Now, the Dolphins play the Packers, then the Patriots, then the Jets. So for the Dolphins, it's even more critical because they've dropped 3 in a row. Just imagine if they won 2 out of those 3, they probably would have clinched already, right? But things don't go that way all the time, so they just have to basically stay afloat. If they win 2 out of the 3, they should be good to go. It just really depends on how the division games go at the very end of the season. But that's pretty much it, right? So that's basically all those little scenarios that can happen. It's going to get very more interesting as the weeks continue. Next week, more teams are going to get eliminated. Next week, more teams are going to clinch. So we just have to see what the heck is going on. So thank you guys for watching. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe down to the channel. See you guys next time, and peace.